Papua New Guinea are the final country to announce their 21-man squad for the upcoming Pacific Championships in 2024. Let's take a look at the squad that they've announced, and let's have a little talk about them. The PNG squad includes Jacob Alick Wienke, Ila Alu, Koso Bandi, Jack de Bellin, Robert Darby, Liam Horne, Edwin Ipape, Lachlan Lam, Laybutt, Rhyse Martin, Alex Max, Nene Macdonald, Sylvester Namo, Valentine Richard, Judah Rimbu, Elijah Roltinga, Daniel Russell, Jeremiah Simbiken, Roderick Tai, Sanny Wabo, and Khaiya Waiembi. So this is a pretty strong looking PNG team. There's a couple players who I thought might have been picked or could have been picked. So Nixon Putt is one. He's been a regular over the last couple of years. There's Alex Johnston, I thought maybe could have featured during this tournament. Xavier Coates is one that I was hoping would have represented PNG. He's going to be representing Australia in the Pacific Cup. It would help if PNG had more of these guys, these world-class players representing PNG to help them take that next step up on the international stage. But I think with the players available, who I'm going to go into now, they can still certainly set a real good tone for PNG. So starting with the spine, there's Laybutt, there's Lam, there's Ipape. That's a hell of a spine. You're 6, 7 and 9. They can get a lot of work done. I think Laybutt and Lam, during the Rugby League World Cup especially, I think they did a really good job at partnering together. Laybutt I didn't really know too much about. Lam I knew a bit more about, but Laybutt, I got to learn about him, and he had a decent run game, and some of his looping passes over the top, they look really effective. Justin Olam's another one that just came to mind thinking about some of the passes that he made to him during the World Cup. So it'd be great to see these guys, but Laybutt, I think, can offer a real threat in the run game, and Lachlan Lam has had a real good season in Super League. So has Edwin Ipape. Any of the PNG guys that have represented their nations in Super League, I don't think any one of them has had a bad season necessarily. I think Nemo has been a little bit quiet for me, but the rest have had either great seasons or good seasons at worst. So the forwards, just overall, are very experienced. You've got Rhyse Martin, great with the boot, as we know, when it comes to conversions, and has had a pretty good season as well. Intelligent player, can play centre if needed, but has had a pretty good season on the left edge in second row. Dan Russell will be playing for my team, the Warrington Wolves, next season, so I'll be looking forward to seeing what he does this tournament. Nemo, as I've mentioned, does a lot of work coming off the bench. Jack de Bellin, very experienced and can be very effective through the middle, playing as a prop forward or in the number 13 role if needed, but is a very experienced head and a big body as well in the middle of the park. One of my only concerns with PNG, just for the future, is I don't know enough about PNG's sort of up-and-coming players. My main concern is fullback. So there are some other nations in the Pacific Islands that they do need to find some solutions in other areas. Like Samoa, I think they need a 7 going forwards. Tonga, they need a 6 going forwards. PNG, I think they need a fullback going forwards. If they can find somebody a little bit like Fiji have with Jareem Bula, that next young prodigy that's coming through the ranks, whether it be in Super League, whether it be the NRL, that would be great for them going forwards. And when PNG do get their team in the NRL, hopefully they'll find a homegrown player from Papua New Guinea to take on that number 1 role going forwards into the future. So that would be great for them. 2 other players that I need to mention, Nene Macdonald, who made the Super League Dream Team, and Rodrick Tai, again, for my Warrington Wolves. Both have had really, really good seasons. Nene Macdonald has, I'm not sure exactly how many assists, but he's been involved in a lot, gets a lot of work done, defensively has been solid. I'm going to take the next little bit to actually talk a bit about Rodrick Tai. I'm a Warrington fan, this is my YouTube channel, it's my video, so I'm going to give one of my own players some praise here, okay? When he first joined, I was excited because I remember seeing him and everyone else that performed for PNG at the World Cup. So if we'd signed anyone from that squad, I would have been happy because they all performed admirably. We got Rodrick Tai, and I was happy with his performances. When he first came to Warrington, I think he picked up a long-term injury very, very early on. And there were some rumours floating around even before he actually played any minutes about him potentially wanting to go home. And they were just rumours. I don't know if there was any real truth to that, but it looked like he might never play. But eventually, due to some injuries with some prospects at Warrington already, he got some minutes. There were then some concerns about his fitness, but that's understandable based off of having a long-term injury. And some of the performances looked a little bit stale. It wasn't really offering too much, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He's into a new system. He's actually finally getting some minutes after a long-term injury. Let's give him a chance. They shifted him over to the right-hand side at right centre to pair with Josh Thulis. He just started to thrive. He just got better and better and better. And they used him to his strengths as a battering ram in attack and as a brick wall in defence. Some of the decision-making that he had defensively wasn't always perfect, but for the most part, his timing, knowing which player to jam into, when to jam, to put in a big shoulder into bigger guys than him, I just thought that's a classic PNG player right there. Just an absolute brick wall defensively, and using him as a battering ram in attack. And some of his decision making was pretty good, knowing when to offload to Josh Thulis, knowing when to just take the carry himself, and a lot of decision making improved over the course of the season. They just used him on the edges, got the leverage on the edges, used a stiff arm to fend players off, and just got us eating up meters through the field. And it was just we fell in love with him, really. People started to fall in love with the character. It was just, nothing fazed him. He was just always focused on the job and just hitting people hard. Rarely made mistakes in attack and in defence. Was just clean. Hard-working and clean. And it was just a joy to see him improve over the course of the season, and to see the teammates' responses to him picking up tries and having great moments. There's some great individual moments that he's had. If you watch, there's final things I'd like to point out before I finish this video. So this is going to be my longest one yet on these squads. His solo try against Wigan, if you watch Wigan Warriors versus Warrington Wolves, I can't remember which round it was, Roderick Tai gets a kind of solo try towards the end of the game. Great for him to have a moment and to actually be able to show what he can do individually, because a lot of it was just him in a system, filling a void, filling a role. But we got to see what he could do. And I'd never really been able to see him open up and see what his speed was like. But if you watch the Huddersfield Giants versus Warrington Wolves round 26 highlights from this season, you'll see the last try, or one of the last tries, him opening up down the field with the ball and showing off his pace. And it's just been a real good season, and it's been great seeing him progress as a professional, as an athlete, as a player in that role, as we've needed him to. It's not a perfect player by any means, but it's just does a lot of good stuff, a lot of hard work, just does the job very well. And I can't wait to see him in these championships, hopefully taking that experience into this and seeing him next season as well, getting more minutes and hopefully offering even more value. But yeah, sorry to be so biased about one of my own players, but yeah, I just wanted to let people know how it's been going and show some appreciation for somebody that I am very happy has been able to make a good go of it in Super League. And I know that PNG nationals like to hear about success of their fellow nationals. So yeah, that's everything I've got to say on this team. The rest of the players are good. It's not just Roderick Tai, but the rest of them are good as well, just to clarify that. But yeah, that's going to be it. Let me know your thoughts on this squad, who you would have included, who you would have taken out. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time.